Guys, this is the Tamron 50-400 F4.5-6.3, a really exciting lens, and I've literally just unboxed this. So this video is about giving you my first impressions and just giving you a little overview about this lens if you're not super familiar with it. It is a very versatile 50-400 millimeters, meaning that you've got your standard focal range and then all the way out to telephoto. And you can even kick this thing into crop mode and it basically becomes a 75-600 millimeter lens. So it's gonna be fantastic for wildlife, for landscapes, and maybe even some portraits and stuff. It's a very versatile focal range. So look at the size of it. It's very impressive in terms of the size of it, but there has to be give and take. So we're gonna get into the optical quality and the autofocus performance and stuff in the full review. But the first impressions of this lens, here is the 35-150 in terms of size. Here is the 100-400 G Master. And my big question is, can this replace the G Master? And I have to admit it, I am constantly underestimating Tamron's newer lenses and what they're capable of, just because it's a third party, they're very budget friendly. But obviously when the 35-150 came along, you know my thoughts on this guy. It's just one of the best lenses ever made. It's phenomenal and it replaced a ton of my lenses. So can this thing do the same? Can I get every focal length and the quality that I want out of just a few lenses? Well, Tamron's gonna find out. So there you have it in terms of the size between these three guys. But what about the build? The build, as just kind of picking up, it's a decent weight for what it is. It's gonna be great for people who don't want to lug around a huge giant telephoto but still have a ton of reach. It's reasonable. But again, we'll get into the optics and stuff later to see if it's up to par with some of the bigger stuff. But it's the same fit and finish, the same quality and the build as your other Tamrons, and very comparable, I'd say these days, to something like a G Master lens. It just feels really good, nice and grippy. It does extend, of course, as you zoom, but I didn't expect it to actually zoom out that much. And I don't know why, because it's a 400, but that's a big zoom. So let's compare it to the G Master here, and yeah, it's still got definitely some reach on it. But yeah, so a little bit surprising there, but that's you do have to watch out for dust and debris in here, like any lens that does extend. And yeah, so look at the short throw of this thing, 50-400 in barely, not even a quarter throw of this lens, and that's really impressive. That's really nice. So you can get nice fast target acquisition. And in terms of the build, it feels nice. It feels well balanced, a little bit front heavy. We've got buttons and switches here. We've got our customizable focus hold button, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a second here. We've got a VC mode 1 and 2 and off, and that's your image stabilization. And then we've got a custom 1, 2, and 3 dial. And this is really cool. When you use Tamron's lens utility software and now the app, so you can change the stuff on the go in the field, what you can do is change how this customizable focus hold button actually performs. It can do a ton of different things. Change your focus, change your automatic manual focus setting. It can change how your manual focus performs. It can do a ton of different really incredible things. And you're gonna need it, I think, because there is actually no manual automatic focus switch. And I guess they've kind of left that off. Maybe they're going full electronic here, and your thoughts are use that app there to make those adjustments. So that's interesting. No automatic manual focus switch, and that helps to keep costs down, of course, less things to break as well. And we've got a lock switch here, so you can throw that on when you're bombing down trails and whatnot. And here is the little tiny manual focus ring. Feels pretty good, nice and grippy. And of course your big giant zoom ring here at the front, and it's just feels good. And again, really short throw, so that's nice. Down here we've got your USB Type-C connection to make those changes in your utility software. On the bottom, we've got, of course, a nice weather sealed, a nice, very firm gasket there, which is good. So confidence in terms of weather sealing. On the front, you've got 67mm filter threads. So just like all the other Tamron lenses, except of course the 35-150 and the big guy, the 150-500, they have kept it 67mm filter threads. So your filters are gonna be reasonable, and you probably have a bunch as well. So a really good feeling, really good, well-balanced lens, and I cannot wait to go out and see how it performs. The VXD focusing motors are next level. They're very quick and very reliable, so we're gonna find out if this thing can keep up with things like birds in flight, and of course, it is a little bit slow starting at f4.5, just like the G Master, so you know, you're gonna have to have some relatively decent light or rely on your camera's, you know, sensor, which these days is really not a problem because, you know, low light is not a problem when it comes to Sony cameras or pretty much any camera anymore these days. So keep that in mind. I cannot wait to go out and shoot with this thing, and I'm gonna head out and do that now, I think. The MSRP, when I think of it, is $1,299 US. So let me know your thoughts on that as well as the lens itself, guys. Drop your questions in your comments down below, anything that you wanna see in the review or me post or compare. I will be doing a ton of comparisons on this beast, of course. Really excited to see it, and let's leave it at that. I gotta get out of here, go find some birds and some landscapes and everything else to go shoot with this, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you did like it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Join the community. Like always, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some more pictures. See you next time.